Alright, so this is the engine bay portion. We're trying to get startup recordings on there. They are a warm startup. The cold start, I did make a note. It had a little bit of what these engines are known as like a chain rattle. Happened for maybe a second and then went right away. Oil levels are full, a bit dark. Maybe it just needs some good maintenance on that. But it's definitely something to keep a thought on. Listen to this thing when you get cold starts. Just make sure that's not something that's persistent throughout every cold start. It might just be this was sitting at an angle when I went to go get it, and who knows how long it's been sitting. So oil pressure could have taken a second, and it did, but it also came up. So just food for thought. This airbox here was open. All these clips were undone, and this was kind of pushed off. It's supposed to like push into these tabs here. It has a nice drop-in K&N style. A little dirty, but it's in there. Battery is newer, Motorcraft. We like to see that. Transmission fluid, there is a stick down here, so that cap, you just undo it, check that fluid. Full, right where it needs to be. For me, it's a little discolored. I like my fluid to stay vibrant when it's getting worn out. It's been through, it's done its job. Coming over here, you're gonna see your drive components or belt drive and everything down there. Pretty hard to see, but it looks good. No discoloring on the belt or hazing. Usually it's a sign like the rubber getting dried out in our area, so you want to keep an eye on that stuff too. Other thing to note on your power steering, kind of see right here, that's your minimum mark, and that's where it's sitting after a hot cycle. It should go up throughout the drive cycle. So there's like a low, cold, hot, high, right? And then right here, this is gonna be your frame rail. Going back here, motor mount and everything. I look down here to see if any of these bolts have been touched or any of this stuff's been moved or played with. All these paint marks are factory. I don't see like anybody's been playing with this stuff. Both sides looks really good. You can kind of see your body welds down there and stuff. Looks really good. Nothing concerning in here. So always a good thing to check is like FOMO part numbers and stuff like that too. That's going to be your engine bay. Car drove out pretty good, so I'm going to conclude here. All right, so this is going to be the 2014 Ford Edge. It's in this nice burgundy deep red. Has a good wheel package on there. There is some scuffs and scrapes on the rims edge there. Overall, pretty good, pretty sharp looking car. Everything works, lights and everything as intended. Daytime running light LEDs. Grill's in good shape. Headlights are in good shape. They're not too beat up. Normally these little chins are pretty scraped, but this one actually looks pretty good. The main thing I really found exterior wise on this car is like these doors have like parking lot vandals written all over it. Just you know, good. They don't catch your nail. Some of them, there's a little ding here. You might be able to buff those out, or you could at least make it look better with a buff for sure. But you got little dings here and there on the car. Lights are all in really good shape. Glass is all in really good shape. Has the glass top. Wipers all work really well. This is in good shape. Doesn't make any weird sounds or anything while it's running, as you see some of these cars. Exterior wise, this tire is new. It's a 2025. The rest are 2021s. This one's out of 9. The rest are above 6, just under 7. Not a problem. Probably avoid putting that on the front axle until it gets closer. You don't want to mess up these. So that's like a PTU system. You gave me the notes, so I'm sure you know, but you want to make sure you're not doing too much on those limited slips with one tire going faster than the other. Just makes the car unhappy. But really good. See a little more here. I'm trying to get the light on it. It's just like some dings. I don't know. Just parking lot vandals on this thing. And it's only the 2 front doors really. On the edges, it's like when you open, on the edges and stuff. But good look. You know, you barely see it from like 10 feet. It's going to be our conclusion on the exterior portion. We're going to keep moving forward. Alright, so we're going to do our undercarriage on the edge here. So I always like to start at the front, angle my mirror here. Just kind of get a good image, show that nothing's hanging or sagging. There isn't like the splash guard on the bottom of these. at least on this one. Everything looks really dry. Nothing really wet under there. The chin's in good shape, nothing beat up. Now we're gonna hit each corner at the lift points and just kind of go through those elements. All right, so this is gonna be your driver front corner lift point here. They do have a lot of these plastic shielding throughout the car, but you can see your exhaust here, flex pipes. The cats are gonna be tucked up in the engine bay, so a little hard to see. Main thing I'm trying to focus on here, just down low enough. Right up in this area is your PTU, so if it was leaking or anything was actively coming out while driving, you would see the wetness and it would go back on the exhaust and the drive line and everything. So really dry. As I've been sitting here, I haven't noticed any drips or rainbowing because the pavement's pretty wet still. So we're gonna keep moving to the back corner here. All right, still on the driver's side, this is your rear lift point. And then this is gonna be your frame rail and everything here. Gas tank has a nice skid plate, so you can't really see much. More exhaust. And I'm gonna go straight from the back, show the suspension. All right, so this is gonna be the rear of the vehicle. This is gonna be your muffler, really good shape, not rusty at all. And then your so coils and shock, it's not like a strut. And subframe's in good condition, not rusty at all. Both sides, shocks are nice and dry. Everything looks nice. We're gonna go over to the lift point on the passenger side here. All right, so the sun's shining on this side. It might be a little hard. I got some dust on there and dirt. This is gonna be your lift point on the passenger rear. And then underneath, frame and everything's nice. No rust, everything's clean. Move up to the front. All right, so this is gonna be our last corner. Your lift point here in really good shape. No rust or anything like that. And this is the other side, so you can kind of see up into that PTU area. Control arm, subframe, everything's dry. Looks really good. All right, this is gonna be our interior portion. Current mileage, 56,392 at the time of the drive. Like I said, check engine light did come on during our drive and the low tire pressure light. Steering wheel controls, you have cruise control here and audio, voice command, volume, everything here. And then this controls this side. This controls this side. All of that works as intended. These little paddle shifters are working as well. Does have a sport mode on there for that. This does have the memory seat option, and then power lift gate. Your infotainment, so it's got the nav. You tap on it there to get to the maps. There we go. All works as intended. Those are the right streets at least. It knows where I'm sitting. And then reverse. The gate is up right now, so it's kind of freaking out and it's looking at the sky. Park Sense also has the active lines normally, and it kind of shows you where you're going and everything works. Radar goes off pretty fast to let you know there is something it sees, and then it kind of starts guiding you in as you get closer. All these functions work as intended. Hot, cold, heated seats both sides. And then I'm gonna change angles for the sunroof portion because you had a specific note for that as well. All right, so I'm standing outside, we're looking in. This has the dual panels. It goes all the way back and forward without issue. There is an auto mode on the button here as well. One thing I'll say, it's a little slow and it does have some squeaks, so definitely lubricate that thing, work it in really good. It kind of slows itself when closing, almost to enough where it'll stop itself sometimes as like a safety detent. Keep going here. So our door cards, the sun is nice and shiny today, which makes great videos, but sometimes it's just right in our face. We got the auto on driver door only. Power windows on all 4 doors work as intended. Door cards are really nice. Seats are in pretty good shape as well. Let's see if I can get it focused. Yeah, nice leather. Seats are in really good shape. They did have like this like the dressing they put on there it's on. They did a lot. These seats have a little bit of marks here, both sides. Looks like they might have had like a car seat set up in this car at some point. Has all-weather mats throughout the whole car. Carpet looks great underneath. Seats aren't loose or anything like that. Charge port here. Charge port for the passenger. Charge ports in the glove box. Charge ports. Skip by the trunk. So door card, passenger side, rear. Really good shape. Same thing, so you can kind of see right here where I'm talking about this little dink. but it's not damaged, it's just kind of like the foam. Back seat on there, power seats, both front seats. It is a manual tilt, but up, down, forward, back power. Charge port, storage, owner's manual. Door cards are in really good shape. So interior looks great, does really well. Everything works as intended, at least. I'm gonna stop here. All right, so this is our trunk, hatch, liftgate, storage area, right? Has the WeatherTech insert. This car does have the factory sub option. These buttons work. I'll do the right one. I did the left one and it hit the driver's seat pretty crazy. So push this button, boom, sends that down, so you don't have to like walk all the way up there to get your load in. You can just push that and keep going. The liftgate close button is pretty far down. Like this is the bottom floor right here, right? So you gotta push it down there. It was kind of weird. I'm always used to it being on the liftgate or up on the sides or something. Works well, responsive. And under here, full size, well, so it's like full height spare, right? So it's not the full size, but the same height for these all-wheel drive cars. And then down in here, it's kind of hard to see with no light, but there's a little pocket right there that has all your tools. They even have the funnel, since this is a capless system. So that's good. It's always nice when you have all the stuff you need on these cars. I'm gonna push that, get a nice chime. It's a little slow, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really in a rush. It's doing it by itself. Closes nicely. That'll be our trunk. All right, so this portion is where we do a scan on the vehicle. It is noted a couple times that the check engine light did come on while I was driving the vehicle. Never flashing or anything like that, didn't cause any drivability, but it did come on. Now going through here, the PCM, it had 2 rich on bank 1 and 2. A lot of these codes here are essentially like sensors and switches, like window switches, reverse monitor, memory switches, all that kind of stuff. There was a lost communication, so I don't know if the vehicle had been jump started recently or the battery looks newer, if they replaced that with a Motorcraft one or not. But basically a lot of these are stored. The PCM is the one that has active codes for those rich codes. We're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna go to the monitor test here. All right, this part is just gonna list all the codes that happened, right? So these are what's stored in here. I can't move it at all. So just 1 and 2 running rich. So your system's too fat, right? You're not getting enough air, or it doesn't think it's getting enough air. The one thing I could say, you'll see in the engine bay portion, if you already went through that part, the air filter box, I'll probably note it because I put it together, but it was open and it has a drop-in filter, but I don't know if that'll do it or not, but it is very possible. And we're gonna pause here. We're gonna go to our monitors, right? So basically all your monitors are doing a test. Basically they're gonna reach a certain measurement, and it has to be within a certain variant of that while you drive, right? So obviously we're gonna have these X's on our emission system here, being that it was running rich and threw codes for it. Everything else is checking out as you expect, but your O2 codes, right, those are what read lean or rich coming through the exhaust. So it's pretty understandable to have X's when I have an active codes for that. All right, we're gonna do a quick conclusion on this 2014. I got our position, the sun's out nice today, so we get some good images here. Car drives really good, has plenty of power. I did make note it did have a little bit of smoke coming out. It did dissipate as driving, so maybe it just could be some carbon. These cars do sit a lot on the lot, so one thing to kind of consider, just keep a close eye on that as you drive the vehicle more and more. That should be something that doesn't return if it's being driven every day. Good all-season tires on this. A little bit of vibration on hard braking and a little bit of pull to the left. And then as far as like taking off, I did a couple on the hill. I did a couple from dead stops. I did a couple turning. No noise out of that PTU. I didn't see anything really weird there. My opinion, the transmission was a little bit soft at start. You could definitely feel those shifts, but that kind of tightened up. Definitely a little more noticeable on this. That's kind of why I was like, hey, check that fluid mileage, see when that's supposed to be done. Overall in really good shape. Not a lot of, there's a few dings and dents on this, but a lot of it can be buffed out. It's in pretty good overall shape. Has a lot of features that all work as intended. The other thing, I made note on the interior portion, but I just want to touch base on it again because you were worried about those tops. Lubricate those tracks really well. They make a special lubrication that's like water resistant as well. You do want to clean the tracks really well before you just add lubricant, because then you're just going to gum up the dirt in there. But beyond that, it works great. It's just a bit squeaky and slow. The other thing I wanted to note, because we had the tire light come on while we were working on this thing, I did find this guy. Now, most tire shops are going to tell you no dice. They'll probably make you replace this. I don't know if you have a guy or you do it yourself, but that's kind of a bummer there. If you replace it with the exact same tire now and put the bolt tires on the front, and you have two new on the front and then the other ones can just trail behind, that'd be ideal if you could find that exact tire again. They found it once on the other side, so I'm sure they can find another one, but that's kind of a crappy spot, to be honest, because it's a little guy, but you just can't, you're not allowed to fix those in that spot. But yeah, overall not bad. I really like the color. I really like the black leather with the trim and everything. It's just is optioned out very well. We're gonna stop here,